Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to introduce many different twists and turns, as well as revelations in this film by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really intriguing about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film, at the end of the day, is going to answer many of the burning questions from The Force Awakens, as well as delivering many surprises that will lead to saga-wide implications within the Skywalker saga, which, like I've always said before in the past, really is a big risk by Disney and Lucasfilm, and whether or not that's a step in the right direction really all does depend on exactly how everything is going to be executed on the big screen. Now, on top of all of this, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very intense for Episode 9. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that Rey is said to be inside of a place called the Land of the Forbidden, which is said to be a place that allows her to connect with the dark side and is full of Sith ruins, while she is said to be inside of an ancient Sith cave/temple. During her time in the cave, it's explained that she begins to hear dark side whispers reaching out to her that are said to be a way of luring her further into the temple, since Rey has a darkness growing within her. Now, it's explained that Rey steps inside of an abstract structure where she begins to see a vivid dark side version of herself wielding a double-bladed red lightsaber, where Dark Rey is said to pull her hood back, where it's described that another vision is said to materialize next to Dark Rey that is said to be an older version of Kylo Ren with a beard and graying hair, with aged skin with yellow Sith eyes, and a new single-bladed red lightsaber, where eventually the scene is said to progress to a moment in which Palpatine sitting on his throne is seen in between the alternate versions of Rey and Kylo Ren, where Rey is said to see Palpatine's Rule of Three plan as a success as a part of his new Sith Empire and a potential future, depending on the choice that she and Ben Solo make in the film, leading to the third act of the movie. It's explained that the scene is very creepy and acts like it comes straight from a horror film by J.J. Abrams. So, let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we got a prime example of the visions in The Rise of Skywalker, at the D23 teaser that we got, like, a month and change ago, give or take. We actually got to see Dark Rey wielding the double-bladed red lightsaber. And that was a very big moment because at that point in time, it left a lot of fans wondering, is Rey turning to the dark side? Is she not turning to the dark side? What's the deal? Meanwhile, it's really just nothing more than a vision in and on itself. But this particular vision that we're going over right now is actually said to involve Rey going into the Sith ruins, also known as the Land of the Forbidden, that's actually allowing her to see both, of course, alternate versions of Kylo Ren and Rey, as well as Palpatine in a potential future that Rey is able to witness. Now, the thing that really gets me is Kylo Ren. Now, Kylo Ren is said to be in the form of a Sith Lord, where he's got aged skin, yellow Sith eyes, of course, graying hair, and a beard even, with a new single-bladed red lightsaber, where he's standing next to Dark Rey. Now, the Dark Rey that's actually set to appear in The Rise of Skywalker is said to have 3 major sequences in this movie that's going to serve as a challenge each time to Rey, and that even at one point in time, the normal version of Kylo Ren will run into Dark Rey inside the depths of the Death Star 2 wreckage where he goes inside. So, this particular moment, like I say, it's said to be very creepy, as if it comes out of a horror film itself by J.J. Abrams. We kind of got a prime example of that to a certain extent in The Force Awakens, where Rey and BB-8 are going down into the basement of Maz Kanata's castle. It's dark, it's dim, and you hear, of course, the crying and screaming of a younger version of Rey. And honestly, I had a creepy feel of it, and I could see where J.J. Abrams is coming from and how that's actually going to be a thing once again in The Rise of Skywalker. Does horror and Star Wars really mix? Well, it kind of does and doesn't at the same exact time, but in this scenario, since it's dark side oriented, it does in fact work, in my opinion at least. So the other piece that I do want to go over here is, of course, what's going to happen to both Rey and Kylo Ren. Now, we do know that this is, of course, a potential future, very much like with what Luke Skywalker saw in The Empire Strikes Back on Dagobah, where he saw his face inside of the Darth Vader helmet. In fact, George Lucas had an original ending of that movie for Return of the Jedi, where Luke would literally put the helmet on and claim that he is Vader. so that would connect to the vision that he saw in Dagobah. In this scenario, what's going to happen? That's a big question open on the table for discussion. Will Rey ultimately fall to the dark side, or will Kylo Ren become a Sith? That's the biggest question of all, right? And we do know that Palpatine and Kylo are going to form some form of an alliance in the first and second act of the movie, and eventually, part their ways when Ben Solo pretty much returns. From what it seems, that there is going to be a Kylo Ren redemption arc in this movie at a certain point in time in the rise of Skywalker. So this vision is really going to be a challenge for Rey and the dark side within her. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.